can you start and kind of show me how you do it?
Yeah, I've never had a guest though. It's been a while.
My name's Breonda Cole.
And this is our first podcast ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's get started.
Okay. Oh, that was so good.
No, because I usually always fuck up with my intros. I'd be like, shit, cut.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Breonda today. And I'll be talking about friendships and
how to make real, genuine connections with people, and also realizing negative aspects in others that you can protect yourself and form real bonds.
Yes.
Let's get started.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay. So the first topic. No,
Healthy.
Should we start with healthy or bad?
Let's start with that.
Yeah, let's start with bad. So then we can end on a positive note.
Right. Yes. Silver lining.
Yeah, I would say the first sign, or the first red flag in a person that definitely is not your friend is if they're highly judgmental of you.
Right.
Do you have any testimonies, or how do you feel with this topic?
Okay, I think that people who are judgmental, they're projecting on you and they're usually very insecure. So it kind of ties into having insecure friends, because if you're someone who is confident, like us, or at least you're trying to be confident, if you're surrounding
yourself with people who are insecure, or you find yourself being friends with people who are insecure, it kind of shows
you have something that they want and an aspect about you that maybe they're jealous of or envious of, starting to protect yourself against that.
Yeah.
And that usually shows as being judgmental.
Mm-hmm. And I feel also being highly critical of someone really shows that you don't support them, and in a way you kind of want to dim their light because you feel like it's overpowering, it's too much for you to deal with, and you should never feel like that. Instead, if someone has a lot going on in their life and you are very inspired by that, you should take points, tips, get motivated by that. If you feel like you're not doing enough, then step up. Level up. And I feel just having great people around you, and you're also great, it just multiplies and amplifies the energy.
It does!
And that's what you want. You don't want someone that you feel is not as good as you, or if you feel you're better than them, help them out.
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly.
So I'm being a little too hyped up.
No, you're good. You're good.
Everything you say, I'm yes! But let's go. Feeling if you have to dim someone else's light, you feel subconsciously they're up on this pedestal, so you're trying to bring them down, even through subtle ways. It's so unhealthy.
It doesn't make you better though. You're bringing them down to a level where you feel you're not even good. If you feel they're better than you, why lower the energy instead of just reaching the energy and becoming better? Challenge yourself.
Now, I've seen something with people before as well who say there's insecure people who will become friends who they want to be who are doing great, but it's kind of you're trying to suck the life out of them.
Yes.
Kind of siphon from their greatness. How do you feel about that? Have you experienced that?
That is, okay, I would say probably my relationships in middle school, I didn't choose my friends very well, and I was put in a lot of positions where I felt I had to be more quiet, and I feel with that, you just need to not have that type of energy in your life. You don't want to feel you're being silenced, because it makes you feel more timid to speak up about things, and you're gonna experience a lot more trouble in your life with people that are constantly overpowering you or trying to overpower you.
I'm trying to work on that.
Yeah, okay, I don't want to put too much tea out there, but
when you are having confrontation with someone, or you feel there's something that you don't like, you should always speak up sooner than later, because it will continue to become a problem, even to where you become
desensitized about what they're doing, and it'll hurt you in many ways that you don't realize. What do you think about it? That's a really
good one. Yeah, I'm really trying to work on that too. When someone is trying to dim your light, and it's kind of different, because if someone is kind of out to get you and they already have that manipulative, controlling outlook on life, then you can call them out, but they're not going to change, because they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Building discernment through that, and knowing when someone that comes into your life, knowing to take a step back. But clearly my past wasn't able to do that, and I would let people too close.
Yeah.
We're never meant to get to share my energy.
I would say match energy.
Yes, 1000%. And that's what I think that's what I mean, because growing up, and then I'm trying to work on this, but this ties into treating friendships like dating.
Yeah.
Because last year, especially when I came to college, because I was out of like my normal bubble. I was out of high school. I mean, everyone is. And you're meeting all of these new friends, and it's really fun. So I had the mindset of like, I'm gonna become friends with everybody, anybody, and I'm gonna be telling them all my business. Not the case. It's not. You can't do that, and it's just like how we do with people who we're dating. We're not gonna want to date every single person. Not every single person deserves or is worthy of our time and energy or our trust. And it's as much as I want to be friends with everyone and all of that stuff, like you can't, because not everyone is gonna want to be a friend to you.
And they're going to want to siphon your energy or take advantage of you or straight up like not be able to have that
capability of seeing your worth or even wanting to appreciate you.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's great that you're selective with your friends, because if you have so many people that you feel like you're acquaintances with but you're just not close enough to, you don't really have any friends, because you can't really decipher who you can really trust and tell information to without feeling like someone's gonna tell. Right. Which is why I love having a small circle, because I know who my friends are, I know who really loves me, and I don't have to feel like, you know, an imposter around a whole bunch of people that really don't love me. They just love what I do and they want to gain from that. So
right.
The judgment, like, they'll judge you when you do something wrong, but when you do something right, you get minimal appreciation. It's like, oh, we already expected you to do that. But like when you mess up, it's like, wow, like we're seeing your flaws, we're seeing that you're not perfect. And it's like, of course I'm not perfect. Whoever said I was.
That's a good take. Yeah. I haven't heard that before. I would say also the opposite as well. If you have something good that's going for you and you tell your friends, that's a great way to see who they really are inside. Yeah. I told some people that some of my friends, who I've been friends with for a long time, that I want to start a YouTube channel, and they like were not that excited for me. They were just like, oh, okay, versus people who are like, oh wow, that's really cool. You know, so that's just like one example of people's two colors. But if you have good things going for you, or even if you, and it's also tying into like people who size you up from a distance, because I saw this woman break it down, like if you have something that other people want, if you're attractive, if you are intelligent, or if you're just caring and nice in general, then people are gonna put you on the subconscious pedestal and like try to knock you down.
Especially like in the field that I'm into, like dance, not everybody's gonna want to congratulate you when you do good stuff, because they want to also be in that spotlight. Right. So you gotta pick and choose your battles, but also when people don't show you that type of love, you have to find that within yourself. You can't look for that outside of who you are, because it's just never gonna feel like you have enough, you know, support. You gotta find that in yourself.
Right, that's a great one. Like trying to like find validation in other people. And that's bad, because I'm trying to break away from like trying to find validation in all of the wrong places, because it all does stem from yourself. But also having uplifting friends who are good for you, it is really healing.
It is very healing.
It's really healing, especially when you have a history of being with people who are not healthy for you. Okay.
Yeah, that one topic was 9 minutes. We can pick and choose from that and figure it out. Yeah, that's what I was like.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But that's okay, 9 minutes.
No, because we can pick and choose like what parts we want in our video, and it'll be great too, because when you look at the video, it'll be like from your perspective and then my perspective, based on the way that we film it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Here's some pastry.
Thank you.
I miss this pastry. Wait, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Sorry.
No,
we're recording.
No, I think it's really important too. Like, competition. Like, competition is a thing, but I feel like for friends, like, why go against somebody? Like, no, like y'all should be uplifting each other, being like, hey, I know you can do better, but not like I can do better than you. Like, hell no.
I agree. Healthy competition, okay, the only way I see this applicable to healthy friendships is when one of your friends is like, oh, like, he hit me up, like, I'm talking to him again. And your friend is like, no, you're better than that. You're trying to uplift you and get you back on the right course. But I really have to pee. I'm also cold. Do you want me to get a blanket for us?
I'm actually okay, but if you want to go right quick to the bathroom,
I can run and pee.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
And you can may as well talk. Slay.
Where were we?
There's more bad we should get into, because you have a lot of stories. What? Oh, leader pack. Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Something I've noticed, and this is the thing about one-on-one friendships, because I've never really had like a big friend group with multiple people, because in my experience it's just gotten negative. And I've noticed a trait in some friendships, a dynamic where there's a girl who is like the leader of the pack, and the other girls follow along. I don't know if I want to include this, but I've noticed sometimes that it's usually girls who have friends with people who maybe aren't as pretty as them, or who maybe aren't as confident as them, and they kind of use that confidence. It kind of goes both ways. Like, you can have a lot of things going for you and be friends and attract people who are insecure, who bring you down, or it can be the opposite, where the person who's like in the front is more confident and the people who follow them are more insecure, and they use it for bad, basically.
For me, I haven't really been in a lot of large friend groups, but I would say my freshman year, I feel like being the new girl, like, people wanted me to join their group. So with that, I was able to like observe the type of energies and like what people, you know, had in their group. And definitely like the leader would always kind of fish for compliments, look for the group to kind of like bring them up. And the other people in the group would kind of come to them for like consulting. It's really hard to bring this up. Oh my god. No, because I feel like this topic is the most difficult for me, because I don't know, I haven't really been in a lot of like large friend groups, but when I just observe, I feel like it's not a balanced dynamic. And I feel like it's really hard to have large friend groups, because how do you satisfy everyone? How do you pay attention to everyone simultaneously? Like, I'll say one thing. I did see this one friend group. Obviously, the leader of the pack was like the person that everybody would compliment, praise, because they just felt like they were gaining something by her just being there. Noticed that another person in the group, they would trauma dump, or they would always like talk about their own problems, trying to see if other people would respond. And because like
that's so many people do that.
Yeah, I feel like that's one thing with like having big friend groups. You don't want to try to put all your business out there and see if people are gonna just like gravitate to you. I feel like it should just come natural. And if you feel like you're like having to force people to like connect with you, it's not a friend group. It's not a connection. It's
like a consulting session.
Yeah, or like a therapy session, but like the therapist is not there for you.
Yes, that's such a good way to put it.
Yeah.
One of the first literally in the first week of college, when I was in I'm gonna probably blur that out. Maybe not. Everybody on campus knows about drama. The first day, we all were in this one girl's dorm room, and someone was like, all right, y'all, let's go and share on our trauma. And everyone was just getting into it, and it was just so negative. That was the first experience on campus I experienced having a ginormous friend group. They were not real friends. I quickly left the group chat and everything, because it was just so fake, and I saw through it. But so many people stayed, because there were always like those girls like at the top who were like, I don't know.
Or they fish for compliments, like they're looking for people to see the good in them instead of them working to see the good in themselves. And this is one thing that I see as well. If you're the type of person and you feel like you're always having to make somebody feel good because they're always talking bad about themselves, you should not be around people like that, because if they can't positively talk about themselves, they're not thinking anything positive about you.
That's oh my god, I made a video actually. I actually did film and I talked about that. Yeah, okay, that's a great one. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Friends who can never say anything good about themselves. It's kind of also tying into like pick me energy. People who are always just saying like, oh, I hate this about myself, or oh, like I'm not pretty, or it could be deeper things, obviously. But if you always find yourself in that dynamic of trying to like lift them up, and they're
not doing that for you.
They're not doing it for you, and and it's like, how could someone who's always talking and only seeing negative traits about themselves? Also, it can come off manipulative too if they're doing it, because it's like, oh, I'm so ugly, and then like looking at you to like see if you validate them.
Like.
It's like, that's not my job. And I guess I've grown more discernment, so I have a more neutral take to people like that, and I'm kind of like,
I try to stay away from it, because I feel like that negative energy can drain you in your relationship. And also, hold on. Oh yeah, it's kind of like it kind of interrupts your ability to manifest, because if you're constantly hearing those negative thoughts about other people, like, you're gonna start thinking about that about yourself. You're gonna start hyper analyzing yourself, because your friends are doing that to themselves, and you're like, should I start doing that to me? Like, is there something wrong with me? Like, so I just try to stay away from people like that, because someone that you know does that all the time, and I'm literally like, why are we just like, get away from her, like, if you feel that way about yourself, I don't want to be around that. You need to fix it, or just come to love yourself and not let other people, like, I don't know, make you feel that way.
It's kind of like, once again, if you're meeting someone who you're interested in romantically, and they're constantly just sulking and telling you all these negative things about themselves that they need to work on, it's so draining. And I don't want to be any man's therapist, so we can't do that for our friends even. That's completely different from having like specific venting sessions or being vulnerable.
Okay. Yes,
that's needed. But if there's a difference in, like, I feel it when people are insecure, and it's like you said, and also words are spells, you know? Everyone has a different energy and different vibrations, so I feel uneasy whenever I'm around people who are negative like that, and it brings me down to,
because I feel like it low-key brings bad luck. Like, if you're already thinking of the worst outcome, that's what you're wanting to happen, because you don't see anything else happening. I feel like there are people that I've had in my life that are so negative that, like, I feel like every time I'm around them, something bad happens. Like, I've experienced that before, and I'm like, I can't hang out with you, because every time I do, I feel like just nothing's going the way that I want it to go. I'm not gonna bring up any testimonies, but it's really bad.
Yeah, that's a great one. I notice a difference being around people who, they uplift the energy and they make me feel like I see the good. Versus friends who are always worrying, and all of a sudden I'm just like, like, I feel really depressed, I feel really drained and sad.
After hanging out with them, like, you should not feel that way after spending time with someone. They should, you know, be sharing the light, giving you that positive outlook on things.
And people will try to siphon that from you. If you're doing great and you're a light in someone's life and someone is insecure, always talking about, like, how light attracts darkness. Someone had this analogy online of, like, men who will go up to women on the beach and be like, I hate these videos, but, like, rate yourself 1 out of 10. And whenever the woman, even if she's drop dead gorgeous and she's like, oh, maybe like a 4, all the comments are so quick. She's like, what? No, like, you're a 10. But if the woman if she dares to say, oh, I think I'm a 10 or a 9, even, people are so quick, usually toxic men, but, like, to drag her down. If you have things going for you and you're acknowledging it, people are so quick to, like, humble you. So this is kind of off topic. But.
No, I think it's, like, perfect with what we're talking about, because you want to be around people that see the good in you, and when they're able to talk positively about things more than dwelling on the things that are going on in life, it uplifts both of you through your, like, life journey.
It does. Yeah. It really does. Yeah, and it's refreshing too. Yeah.
I think that was good for this topic. I was like, that one was I know, I was like, I don't think there's anything I can say.
We're doing these in 9-minute increments.
I know.
Alright, 9. Next one. We're killing it. Alright. Oh my god, 53! Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh. Who should uplift?
Yes.
Like, okay, just to add on more to that, like, that is the purpose of friendship. It's kind of sad, but, like, whenever I make friends with people who I actually feel uplifted around and not, like, drained by, I'm like, oh wait, I can be friends with people who make me feel good, who I don't leave feeling confused about. Or, once again, the same goes treating friendships like dating. If you leave a date and you're unsure about how they feel about you, you're unsure if they respect you, or if you feel kind of gaslit. I feel like a lot of people have gaslit me in their lives. Noticing those patterns. When you start to meet people who are healthy for you, you're gonna notice it. You're gonna start feeling great. You're gonna start actually feeling just like you can be yourself. Like, they're not judging you. You can say what you want to say.
And your friendships will also be, like, natural feeling. Like, you don't feel like you have to always have, like, you don't always feel like you have to have, like, the best tea, the best conversation to talk about. Or that's really toxic too, if you feel like every time you're talking to someone, it's always about someone else, or always about, look what happened, like, blah, blah. Like, it should be news, or, like, something that you want to update them on. Like,
yes, 1000%. If it's a focus around gossip, talk about something else. What's going on in your life? What's bringing you happiness? and I like a little bit of gossip here and there.
Of course.
But not all the time.
Yeah, not all the time.
Should we go more in the sun? Or are you good?
We can move if you want, just a tad.
Well, maybe I'm good.
Okay. I was like, if you change your mind. I mean, we're... Okay. So, now let's talk about healthy friendships. Let's, like, end this on a positive note, you know?
Okay.
So... The first topic?
Oh.
No, I was just saying that for the YouTube video.
Okay, I have one.
Okay.
Along with loyalty. Friends who are loyal.
Yeah.
And deciphering kind of like those neutral friends who, okay, say you have two friends, Lucy and Nancy.
Yeah.
And then you have your friend in the middle who's neutral.
Mm-hmm.
So Lucy and Nancy are not getting along with each other. Lucy was really mean to Nancy, but the friend in the middle is still going to continue to be friends with both of them. All to say, that wasn't the best example, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it boils my blood when I'm friends with someone and they continue being friends with someone who hurt me in my life, and we are close.
Yeah.
And it's not loyal. I mean, it's honestly the equivalent of like if you're friends with someone and then say your ex was abusive and they're like being buddy and like all kind with your ex. Like,
I definitely agree. I feel like it's an unpopular opinion maybe for a lot of people, but for me per se, I don't think neutrality is always good. Like, I feel like you should have a decision or an opinion about it. Like, especially if it's something that is relevant and it affects people in a way. Like,
I'm pissed off at people who are not more like, friendship is backing someone up.
It's supporting one another.
It is. And even if, like, have you seen those memes? Like, even if my friend is in the wrong in front of, like, their enemy, like, I'm still gonna back them up because they're my friend. And then behind the scenes, you're gonna be like, hey, like, I've seen people explain that, like, in relationships, too. Like, don't talk to my friend like that. Like, she's not wrong or whatever. But then behind the scenes, being like, hey.
If your friend doesn't support you when you need them the most, I think that says more than them not speaking up. Like, I feel I feel like if you don't speak up, that says more about you because you're accepting it and you're allowing it and you're not showing where your loyalty lies.
Can you elaborate more on that?
I just feel like you I don't know, my brain is
it's
having
okay.
a difficult time right now.
No, I feel it too. It's okay.
Yeah.
Gotta clear the energy.
No, for real.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Like, this reminds me of like a homie hopper low key. Like when they're constantly bouncing around to receive like attention. I feel like from different people, and having that type of energy around you, it's not good because you don't know if you can trust them. Like they're literally just trying to appease like everybody around them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like kind of like people pleasers. Like you cannot please everybody.
Yeah, and like you cannot be yourself when you're trying to care about others over yourself. Like
you can't.
How?
I'm trying to work on that too.
Me too, because it bothers me when I hear people that don't like me. But then at the same time, it's like, I'm not like you. So low-key, I'm glad you don't like me because then people would never associate me to you. Even though we're in the same space, that doesn't mean I am like you. Like, okay, this reminds me of my testimony. So there was this guy that was trying to talk to me, and he had heard that I was on the team. You know, on a particular, on the dance team. Yeah. So he thought that, you know, everybody on the team was just like what you would typically stereotype a cheerleader. But for some reason, for dancers, like I guess the same type of stereotype goes here because it's college.
Wait, no. Sorry. What exactly would that be? Like someone?
I don't know. Like he just like, thought that I was like shallow. I wouldn't have a lot of information. Like I would kind of just be like the pretty girl that, you know, just gets away with stuff because I'm pretty. But when I like elaborated on my emotions, I seem to be very intelligent.
When he learned that you're actually a human being.
Yeah, like my major's law. Like I have other aspirations. Like me being a dancer, I'm actually professional. Like I'm not trying to just be a dancer so everybody knows that I'm on the team. Like no, I actually want to take this pro. The only reason why I'm doing college and dance is because if I didn't, no one would know who I am or what I do. So in a way, it would kind of just be like I'm not really showing who I am as a person if I'm not joining in activities that I enjoy. Like, I enjoy dancing, so that's why I'm on the team. But unfortunately, like, when it comes to who you're on the team with and how they represent themselves, sometimes it could misconstrue, like, the entire team and their reputation and what people think the entire team is like. So he just basically thought that I was really shallow, I wouldn't have a lot to say, and when he figured out that I'm not like that, he was really surprised.
Wow.
However, he decided to attack me in another way by basically saying because I'm not his religion, even though I still said that I'm spiritual, like, of course I connect to a higher being. I don't feel like I'm just like my own person and I, you know, made myself. Like, no, I don't feel that way, but nothing's wrong if you feel that way, but I wasn't, you know, saying that.
Yeah.
But he still was kind of like, oh, I don't feel like you're religious enough. And it kind of hurt me a little bit because I feel like spirituality is really important with who I'm becoming as a person. So to try to judge me based on me not having the same ideas as you, like, you know,
I hate
it's
that.
hypocritical. Yeah.
And like, that should just make him, excuse you, go back. That should just make someone like you more. Like, I think that's so backwards that he felt that way. And that just shows more about him, and also how people will project, like, how we'll project into each other.
Yeah.
And kind of expect, like, what we think is right to be right for other people, and not being able to accept other people being different.
Yeah, and their perspective. And you can learn from that instead of trying to tear people down or try to correct people. Like, that's not what life is about. Like,
it's not. It's about learning from each other and learning to love each other's differences and beauty. And I talked about this too. The world would be so terrible if everybody was just like me, if there were only Fionas running around. Like, I would hate that. I love meeting different people, and I love life is just to experience. And
it is.
Spiritual beings having a human experience.
Exactly.
And just learning more about ourselves through others and vice versa, and breaking down the shells of the ego.
Yeah. That was so loud. I was like, what is that?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I hate that. That's annoying. I don't like that.
I low-key feel like my story was off topic. I forgot what our topic was about.
No. It's not off topic. No. It's needed. And that makes sense. Like, because some of the most toxic people I've been around is when they try to, like, correct your way of thinking into being just like theirs. When you have a different belief from them and they instantly feel targeted, like they have to be right. And I also am trying to work on that too, because I have that trait. But it's like, at least I'm aware of it. A lot of people are not.
I think awareness is really important too with having, like, healthy friendships. Like, being aware of what other people are going through and not always just focusing on yourself, because I feel like you end up becoming detached from reality and, like, how other people are experiencing things, and it can really, like, hurt your relationship when someone feels as if you're not there for them, or when they can't come to you as much as you come to them about stuff. So I think that's also really important too with having a healthy friendship.
Ooh, yes. And, you know, I try to be vulnerable with people, but sometimes people just don't reciprocate it.
Exactly. And I think that might be because they just haven't experienced it themselves, or a lot of people are scared to be vulnerable and express their emotions, so when other people do it, they just don't know how to respond.
That's such a good point. And I'm not trying to blame it on other people, because, like, I think it's just society too. Like, it's so hyper individualistic and always trying to turn. I watched a podcast breaking this down. There are so many, like, self-help books and ways, like, how to heal yourself. There needs to be more focus, like, in bookstores and libraries on how to be there for others. And how to be vulnerable, and especially because of small talk, which it's needed, but I really dislike it because people aren't genuine and always saying, like, I'm fine or I'm good, but not really getting into the nitty-gritty. And I like getting into the nitty-gritty, and I like being there for people, and because I want other people to be there for me, and I have had that. But, you know, it makes me feel good when I can be there for other people too. And you miss out on so much beauty in life when you're not there, when you're not, like, intimate with other people. And it doesn't have intimacy also isn't, like, romantic or sexual. It's just talking about your dreams, your fears, your trauma, what keeps you up at night and what makes you happy and smile, like that's what human connection is all about.
Yeah.
So I love forming that with people, even if I just met them, because it's like, you know, we all are connected.
Yeah. I really agree with that. That resonates with me a lot.
Aww. Okay, let's wait till this.
Because he's gonna just ruin the audio.
Oh, sneaky little.
But yeah, what we were talking about, it's really great to attract like the same vibe and frequency, because things come more naturally when you're with people that also have the same intentions.
Yes,
the same intentions.
Right.
Wanting to grow the relationship and learn from you as much as you want to learn from them.
Right. And I think sometimes people have like this preconceived notion of like what they think is cool about others. I'm trying to let go of people like that in my life who, if you don't like meet their standards, and you can feel it when you're talking to them, if you can feel kind of like they're judging you, or you know, what resonates with you isn't like values. If your values are different from someone, then they're not going to find you valuable. Someone broke that down. I value like, you know, patience, kindness, deepness, and, you know, things that make me grow, and conversations that uplift me and make me think more and grow for the better, and not just low vibrational things like gossip, and you can just feel it. So if you feel like you're, for me at least, around people who don't resonate with me, who are not healthy for me, my stomach will feel anxious and my heart will feel blocked.
Yeah.
And noticing those signs when you're around people, and before, during, and after you hang out with people. And this goes for both romantic and friendships. Like,
I would say take it as a sign to leave. Don't force the relationship, because I feel like when you're constantly around people that like you feel like you have to keep pushing for information, you have to keep pushing for them to open up to you, like it makes you feel like something's wrong with you, and nothing's wrong with you. Like it's totally okay to be open, and if you feel like they're just not on the same like page, tell them how you feel, and if they're not reciprocating or wanting to, you know, like better the relationship, then let go. Like
because it's like,
because all of the people that I'm super close with, like throughout my life, I feel like we've rarely gone through confrontation. So I feel like if we do, you should be able to be open enough to communicate with me and let me know what's going on. Not to let how you feel and your assumptions damage our relationship because you're too timid or scared to let me know.
That's good. Or too judgmental and
like if you have a
egotistic.
belief about something, like let me know, so then we can like conversate about it, and you can understand my perspective and not just make me feel bad, or vice versa about you having a belief that I'm just like, oh hell no.
Right. It's all about the vibes and energy. Like just it comes down to the 3D and like what people are actually doing and saying, but also friendship too is just how you feel and intuition. What is your gut telling you? This is a big one. What version of you do they bring out?
Yes!
That is such a great one, because if you're around people who make you feel insecure, if you're around people who make you feel like you have to prove yourself to them,
or if you feel like you're super quiet around people, but like when you're with that one person where like you're super talkative, you're super loud, you're super goofy, and they're always saying that you're funny, like be around those people. Do not be around people that make you feel like, oh my god, like I've never felt this lonely like in my life. Like you need to let go and find other people that bring out the best in you.
And it's like kind of from a place of loneliness, like just being friends with them just because they're like on your friend roster,
or because you want someone with you, but the value of them being there is not really there if they're not really contributing to you.
Yes, exactly. So wise. Right. And people who don't see your value as well.
I feel like that was a good wrap up. Like
that's good. This is my first outro ever.
No, you're good.
Thanks for watching the video, everyone, and I hope that you could all take away some piece of wisdom from this, and that it can enhance your life for the better. Go like and follow and subscribe if you haven't yet, and go follow her!
Yes, we will have all the tags.
Yes!
Yes.
Yeah, so thanks for watching. Bye!
Okay.